YouTuber, man, and I'm back with more content for y'all. We got a fire lineup for y'all tonight, man. First things first, shout out No Fugazi Podcast. They had a panel on there. They had some older women on there voicing their opinions. They got wild, man. They got heated, man. Let's get into it. Let's break it down. But as always, man, make sure to smash that like button before we do, man. It's free. Helps the channel out. Let's get into it, though.
Male, do you all truly think you qualify for one, and why? If not, are you willing to make changes in yourself to get one? That's a pretty good question. So she's saying, raise a hand. Do all of y'all want an alpha male, like a masculine male? Mm-hmm. Show hands. Of course. Okay. Tone.
Except for Harlem, though.
I don't really, I don't.
You would take a man that you could run all around and through?
No, I want a partner. So I don't want anybody that I can run over, and I don't want, I don't want a man to have to have a certain
demeanor.
Yeah, the alpha demeanor.
Let me ask you a question, Tone.
Sure, go ahead.
Are you religious at all?
I'm spiritual.
Spiritual. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Okay. Do you believe in this order? God over man,
100%.
man over woman, woman over children?
No.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right?
There you go.
Who's
Man, I'm gonna let Cooley go ahead and say that again, because I think a lot of us missed that, and he just summed it up. Make sure we caught that.
Go ahead.
Are you religious at all?
I'm spiritual.
Spiritual. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Okay. Do you believe in this order? God over man,
100%.
man over woman, woman over children?
No.
Okay, let me ask you a question, right?
There you go.
Who's
And that's how it is religiously. I know at least in the Bible, like, yeah, God is closest to man, or man is closest to God. Then it's women, then it's children.
who's better at leading? Is God better at leading men?
Is God better? I don't understand the question. Then what?
No, is God better at leading men, or is man better at leading God?
Oh, God is the lead.
God is the lead. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, generally speaking, and we already answered this anyway, but I'll have you should give the same answer that you gave before. Generally speaking, is men better at leading women?
No.
Okay, you changed your answer. Last time you said yes.
I never said yes to that.
Yeah, you did. We went around a panel and you said that generally speaking, men are better at leading the men.
I never said that.
We went around a whole panel. Okay, maybe.
No,
is she gaslighting right now?
No.
Chat, y'all can rewind it back.
She gaslighting because she's a feminist. She admitted that.
I never said that.
Okay,
Never
maybe she
said
didn't.
I promise you.
Maybe she didn't.
Self-proclaimed feminist is crazy. That probably would explain how you get to your 30s and 40s looking like how she looking and ain't got no man.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay.
She don't fuck with men like that. Like that right now. No.
Okay, fair enough.
Auntie right here on this pod, you know what I'm saying? Auntie with the money, auntie with the career, auntie with the nice car, who drive a Lex. But that's also the auntie with no kids and no men.
Go down the line. She's going to put a woman
Above
with
it.
God.
Okay, so woman gonna be above there with God.
I'm just saying we're all equal.
Okay, you think we are equal. So
Stop the
this
cap.
is the reason why. So once again, I don't know your ins and out of your relationship at all. I don't know the reason why you divorced that man. He probably was a bad man, right? Terrible. Let's just say that, right? But I will put this on top of that though too. Men, we all men, we just want a woman that is submissive, fun, feminine, and that can follow our lead and not give us a headache. We kind of just want peace, right?
Right.
And since in men we have a natural propensity, not even proclivity, because a proclivity is a tendency. It's in our biology, a propensity to lead women, right?
All right, peep the distinction.
Not to lead other men, right? We do have a natural proclivity to lead other men, a natural proclivity to lead in general, right? But we have a natural propensity to actually lead women. So it's like biologically in us. With that being said, one of the reasons why a predictor I'm thinking,
that's why these relationships don't be working out when y'all be letting the women lead. Y'all working ass backwards. It ain't supposed to go like that. Biologically, you supposed to be leading the relationship, my nigga. Like, that's why this shit ain't working out. That's why you unhappy, she's unhappy. You know what I'm saying? It ain't supposed to go like that.
Why you divorced your man? Because you divorced him. Because his inability to lead. His inability to show you that, you know, he's that guy, and you could feel safe and secure around him emotionally, financially, spiritually. If he gave you that ability, and he also was charismatic, that made you still feel them butterflies every now and then, and got that little thing down there wet, you'll be married.
That's assuming that I want to be married.
No, but you were married. But say if you was checking those boxes off of what I said,
so
would you divorce? Would you have divorced that man?
No, but not because.
Okay. Booyah.
But not. I lost my train of thought because something you said.
That's okay. Take your time.
I wanted to comment on.
What part was it when I was talking about?
It was about the lead. Oh, but let me ask you this question.
Sure.
Why do women need to be led, in your opinion?
Okay. Good.
That is a perfect question. A perfect question. And the answer to that is quite a simple one. Is because women are naturally the followers. Women are followers by nature. Women are hive-minded thinkers, meaning that they go with the crowd. They are easily led. Men, on the other hand, have always been naturally have always been the critical thinkers, the ones who are willing to get out there and put muscle to mind, put thought to action.
Good question. Good. So, why do women need to be led? Mm-hmm. Is because women are incapable of making, generally speaking, logical decisions without getting their emotions involved. So that's a reason. Not only that, women are naturally indecisive creatures. Meaning most of you barely even know what you want to eat. You barely know what you want to eat half the time, right?
And they summed it up a little bit, I would say more cliche than I summed it up, because we've always heard that, oh, y'all don't even know what y'all want for lunch. Like, okay, we've always heard that. But I would just say naturally they're more follow like in nature. Like they're more follow like in nature. It's not natural to see women leaders in society. And that's not a sexist comment. That's just what it is. Like men lead in relationships, society, and almost all hierarchies and all constructs. Men are the leaders.
So since you are indecisive in your decision making, then it's like men are more decisive in decision making. Men are more logical. Men are more tactical in their approach to things. Men have a natural ability to come up with plans and strategize things. I'm not saying that women don't. Women do all of these things. I'm just saying that men do it better. That's why they are better at leading. When it comes to leading, you put the best person in charge. You don't put the second best in charge.
Right.
What, Harlem?
So,
and then back to you.
Okay.
According to statistics, right? How many female serial killers are out there compared to men? Since men think logically, I'm just trying to understand. Like y'all make the conscious decision to go out there and murder somebody, Harlem. Even when y'all get into a situation.
I got you, Harlem. I already gave a statistic and a fact, and I gave women's props, which I didn't even want it. I said when it comes to intelligence, right, and competence, when it comes to competence, it's a bell curve. Right. It goes like this. And I said that men are the dumbest people in the world, meaning that they're going to make the dumbest decisions in the world, the baddest choices in the world. But guess what? They're also the smartest and logical people in the world. But guess what? Women hover above most men. They hover in the middle right here. So the fact is that there are more intelligent women in the world than there are men. Do you get it?
You said the bell curve, but you didn't say that curve. Last part. But no, that's the bell curve. But when I'm speaking about,
that's actually a nod to women. Like, let's be honest. There's some goofy ass dudes out there. Now there's some silly females as well, some ditzy females, but there's some goofy ass dudes, blundering idiots. Like, you're dangerous being this dumb, my man. Like, so yeah, I would say men kind of just fall in that bell curve. Like, we got dudes like I just explained, and then we have literal geniuses, prodigies, like the people who are changing the world.
But listen, but when I'm speaking about the best and the greatest, men in most things, but women outcompete a lot of men in things because it's a bell curve. Do you get what I'm saying? When it comes to intelligence, when it comes to competence, when it comes to assertiveness, dominance, leading.
I took statistics.
Yeah.
Yeah, move on.
But I was just asking the question.
Oh yeah. But go ahead. You have
Well, I mean, respectfully, I don't agree with what you were saying about
what, the bell curve?
No,
Oh,
about
something else.
about why women need to be led.
Okay.
But women are doing fine.
You get your period. Well, maybe not. Y'all older now, but you get your period every month, and you're emotional.
Get mine.
Look at you.
You
You get your period every month. What you talking about, y'all? You better.
y'all
We
probably
don't
older.
bleed from ourselves.
What does that have to do with bleeding?
Right.
Think bleeding from yourself. You get cramps and you bleed every month, and then you have an emotional reaction.
That's ridiculous.
Things annoy you just more.
And every female goes through one. It's a part of being a female. And y'all know y'all be emotional when it's that time of the month. Like, the decisions and the choices y'all be choosing, the stuff y'all be saying when y'all in that time of the month, man, it be crazy. It be crazy.
So ridiculous.
That's not ridiculous. It's a fact. It's a biological fact.
It is a fact that women have their period, but it's not a fact that
You're
a
more
period
emotional?
is gonna make
Hormones y'all be experiencing on y'all period. That's why y'all be saying all that crazy stuff, and then after your period, just be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean that. It was just my period."
you
So look,
be illogical and,
no, listen.
and emotional.
If you're already more emotional than a man, generally speaking, which you agree, that's what you agreed to.
I did say women
Okay,
have more
so-
men need to be a little more emotional.
No, men don't need to be more
Yeah,
emotional at all.
they
The
do.
problem with America right now is men being more emotional.
No.
The reason why you divorced your man is probably because he was
emotional.
a feminine. He was an emotional dude.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the reason.
I mean, I know.
And the only one thing I will say is I think some men can stand to have a higher sense of emotional intelligence, or just being able to understand and control a woman's emotions a little bit more. I think dudes kind of slack off on that. They kind of shame women for being women. Like, bro, they're women. Like, we know they're the emotional creature, or the more emotional creature. We should have more of an understanding for them being who they are, right? We be trying to expect them to have the stoicism of a man, and it just don't work like that. So I don't think dudes need to be more emotional. I think we just need to have a deeper emotional understanding, at least for the women we have in our lives.
I'm just sitting packing no more. I know he probably did something bad. I'm talking about, I know he probably did. I don't want to know the details, but
Right.
it
I'm
goes
not
into
sharing.
it. I'm
Yeah.
sure if he was being a because you think about what masculinity is. Masculinity is a protecting trait. It's
Yeah.
protecting and providing, right? It's very protective over everything. He wants the best for you. That's what masculinity is. He wants you to feel good, smell good, act good, look good, be good. Everything. He wants to give you a comfortable life. That's what masculine men do.
She needs
The fact that you divorced your man, and any woman that divorces their man, he wasn't masculine in certain areas. That's just the fact. He didn't, because when it comes to a woman divorcing a man, it's really, I tend to not even blame the woman, because the man is the leader in a relationship. So that shows your inability to lead that woman. Or that shows you made a bad choice in choosing a woman to marry. Maybe you married a woman that she just never can be led, because she has.
Now, that's not to say if the relationship goes left, it's your fault. Because there is some other mitigating factors that go alongside that, and it's not as black and white as Cooley just painted it. But I will say straight up, yeah, it is kind of on your shoulders. Like, if you get with a submissive woman, a woman who is fully going to follow your lead, and that shit goes left because you made the wrong decisions, like, duh, that's on you. And then even furthermore, like, if you get with a woman and she's not submitting to you, she's not letting you make the calls, she's challenging your moves, then that's on you for picking that woman. So it does still kind of revert back to it being on the man's responsibility to A, pick a good woman, and two, or B, when you find that good submissive woman who's following your lead, make sure you're making the right calls. Make sure you're making the right decisions. Like, You the coach, call the right plays.
Suffering from emotional trauma and stuff. So it's like either that man gave the
NFL.
ring to the wrong woman,
or
he's just a bad leader himself.
Or just men are not the best at leading because, you know, like you said that women do most of the are the ones that initiate
the breakups. That's because those women that do those breakups, those women lead the relationships. And anytime a woman leads anything, she leads the relationship to the end.
Oh, well, you know what? I disagree, and I think that it's not a fact.
That's true. They initiate all the divorces. Obviously, if she had the gall, right? If she had the gall to go out there and get those divorce papers and sign them,
and in general, that's not even what women be looking for. Like, so they're not in their feminine, as they say, when they're doing that, being a leader in a relationship. They're not in their natural role. They say they lead in a relationship to the end, and it's because it's true. Like, what do the women say nowadays? They want to be in a soft girl era. They want to be passenger princess. Bro, it's up to you. It's up to us as the men to be the leaders in a relationship, to facilitate that soft girl lifestyle, to facilitate a life where you could just call the shots, be the captain, make the right plays, and she gets the benefit from them. I'm not going to lie. That's just how it's supposed to be. I mean, in return, you get treated like a king, but yeah, like it is on our shoulders to make the right plays and make the right calls in these relationships as the leader.
Or hand it to the lawyer and be like, hey, send those to him, or she hands it to him. Obviously, she let herself out of the relationship. If she had a man that was leading, she wouldn't even be thinking of getting out of the relationship. She'd be happy in a relationship.
The fact that he's not leading means he's not a good leader, which is...
I just told you that.
Well, and that men are not the greatest at leading.
No, that doesn't mean that men aren't the greatest at leading. That means that I already told you, men...
Actually, we are. I would say it's probably the men you've encountered, the men that you're attracting. He's not a good leader for whatever reason, because like he just said, it's kind of like a curve that men are on, a bell curve that men are on. Like, yeah, we got some bumbling idiots out here, but for every bumbling idiot we have out here, we have a high IQ individual who is making the right play, not the wrong one.
When it comes to a woman divorcing a man or leaving a man, it's for two reasons. Maybe that man got on one knee and gave a ring to the wrong woman, meaning that she got suffering from too much trauma and you got with the wrong woman and it can't nothing satisfy her. She's, you know, for the streets. Or the other reason is, well, my dog, maybe you're a little bit too feminine and your woman was taking charge, and women can't respect a man that she's looking down at. She can only respect a man that she admires, meaning looking up to. So if a man in a relationship isn't doing things and asserting himself in a masculine way for his woman to admire him, she's eventually going to have one foot out the door and look for another leader like you are. You dating, right?
I think that breakups, divorces are way more nuanced than what you're saying. I mean, you're making it very black and white.
I mean, life is black and white. You may think things are nuanced.
It's way more nuanced.
Things are nuanced when you don't understand things. And 10 years.
Things are nuanced. I will give her that. But things can also always be simplified. Yeah, when you zoom in, yeah, there's a lot of complicated detail, but... skip all that. Let me zoom out. Give me the short version. It could always be simplified.
Years ago, to me, it was like more nuanced because I used the word nuance because I didn't have any understanding of it.
Simple version is men are better leaders in general and females are better followers in general. That's the simple version.
Think about what black and white is, right? Or think about just understanding. When you don't understand something, it's gray. It's like, well, it could be this, it could be that. It's nuance. I really can't put my finger on it. Once you acquire the intelligence or the knowledge, it is a nuance. You're like, oh, black or white, accept, decline, left, right, up, down, make a decision.
But I have to say what you said about the divorce thing. Those two things that you said are true. Now, the nuances that you're talking about, yes, it is details underneath of it, but they fall under those two things. That's how I feel.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, like look, the details of what happened with our divorces falls under one of those two. Just think about the details of it.
So,
what I was saying.
Yeah. Well, Perhaps, but
but that perhaps is a big thing.
But it's not just that. It's like I'm saying, it's more complicated than that. It's not just, that it. What were the reasons you said?
No, but she said it falls under those two things.
What were the two things?
I'll give the two things, right? So what I'm saying is women tend to divorce a man due to these two reasons. One of the reasons is his inability to lead that woman, meaning that he was docile, more effeminate, couldn't assert himself or dominant. He didn't understand woman nature, meaning that, women are higher in trait neuroticism, meaning that they feel more negative emotions. So that means that as a man, you have to be charismatic, right? And you have to know that what you did to attract the woman, you have to keep doing that, right? Because women want to feel butterflies, and women just tend to get bored faster in relationships because they are higher in.
Hold on. Let me cook real quick because my boy Cooley is talking that talk, and I could personally attest to that, man. Because a lot of us get in these relationships, and I don't know, relationships, I just feel like it kind of doles dudes down a little bit. That's why they say not to live with your girl, only spend so much time around them. Because as a dude, you gotta stay sharp. Like, keep doing the things that attracted her to you. Like, and yeah, some of them things is like not giving her that much attention, like maintaining attraction from other females, like just being on your A game, like, I don't know, abundance mindset, treating it like, it sounds terrible, but treating it like it's not the only thing you got going. A lot of us get into these relationships and we be going full throttle. And ain't nothing wrong with loving your girl, but just understand there's more to life. Like, and if you ain't on your JOB, you ain't gonna have no girl.
Trait neuroticism, they experience more negative emotions, so that means that they get bored faster, right? Yeah. So since they get bored faster, and if a man does understand this, he'll do certain things and acquiesce his behaviors to always show his woman a good experience. So then that's giving her security, that's giving her emotional security. And then if he's asserting himself and being dominant and masculine as a man, that means that he's being ambitious and accomplishing goals, right? Women are hypergamous by nature, meaning that they want a man that's either on their level or better. So that means that, hey, if he is asserting himself and accomplishing things, then he's filling her hypergamous tendency. So a man has to know these things about a woman and check all these boxes so she won't have one foot out the door, especially in the age of social media when she can get a DM from a random nigga right now that's doing better than her man. So that means that that man had an inability to lead that woman. That's number one. The second reason is why most women divorce men is because of what did I say again?
She wasn't the right.
Oh yeah. The other reason was that woman, that man just chose the wrong woman. That means that he got on one knee and married the wrong woman. He got with a woman that already suffered from too much baggage and.
Bro, I only speak off of knowledge, off of facts, bro. And it sounds terrible. I'm not saying don't love your girl. I ain't saying don't treat her nice, but bro. Women are sugar, spice, and everything nice. You think if you hang around that 24/7, 7 days a week, it ain't gonna rub off on you a degree, bro? You gotta stay sharp out here. You know what I'm saying? Like the grizzly nigga that she met, who rizzed her up, who, low key had waterworks going day one. That's the man you should still try and be. That's the man you should maintain throughout the relationship. Or yeah, she is gonna lose interest.
And trauma from her past relationships, from her upbringing, daddy issues, and etc. So even if he is a masculine man and stuff, it's like, bro, you could pretty much do everything in the world. You could give this woman the moon. She still won't accept it. It's just some women like that. Or she still won't be satisfied. It's just some women like that, right? That's just, it is what it is. So those are the two reasons. And when women, and she's agreeing that when women divorce men, it falls into one of those two reasons. And usually it falls into the man inadequate, not having the ability to properly lead that woman. Because in most situations, a masculine man can lead a woman that's been through some trauma and all of that.
Well, for me, a man's not going to lead me, period.
Whoa,
so we're gonna be partners.
Okay.
And
I'm speaking in general.
Yeah. Well, so for me, it doesn't. I
wonder why she looks to be almost, I would say, 30 plus, 40 plus, maybe, and she's clearly single. Talking about a man ain't gonna lead her. Like, baby, where's that gotten you? Where's that gotten you? She might have kids. You know, if she has kids, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say she didn't have them out of wedlock and she was married at one point in time in her life. But clearly that mindset hasn't gotten you anywhere, because I don't care what anybody says. You don't want to be single as a woman in your 30s, in your 40s. Dating ain't fun like that. Dating ain't that fun that you're trying to do it in your 40s when you're competing with these 20-year-olds at this point. Because a 40-year-old man, he has a wider range of options, right? Everybody knows that. Well, everybody on this side of the internet knows that. And if you didn't, a 40-year-old man has more options than a 40-year-old woman. It just is how it is. So dating ain't fun in your 40s. Like, don't adopt this mindset right here. This right here, how you sitting on a podcast at 40 years old trying to talk about, oh, I'm a feminist and ain't no man gonna lead me.
It's not. Doesn't qualify.
You think you get turned on by masculine men for sure.
Of course you do.
Even if you think back to the men that you've dated, and if you think back to not what you were attracted to, but actually what aroused you, because attraction and arousal is two different things for a woman, right? A woman can be attracted to a man with all of these traits, like, ooh, like he kind of fits everything. But arousal comes with something else. Arousal comes with the man understanding the woman, right? Because women are incapable of creating a vibe. Men create the vibe, which I all talk about the vibe. Men create that. I'm not saying that y'all can't create a vibe with yourselves as a group. I'm talking about in like on a date and things. Men create that vibe and a woman falls into that vibe. Because think about it. If the man doesn't create a good vibe at the end of that date,
like, and if for those of y'all who be dating, or for those of y'all who be dealing with women on a regular, when a woman said, oh, I just like being around you, I like your presence, I just like the vibes, that's what he's talking about, essentially. We create the vibes, bro. Like, it don't matter if we doing this, that, or other. It's just having charisma, you know, being able to hold conversation, obviously, setting the mood, setting the tone. That right there alone will have a woman, like, going crazy over you. Like, dang, like, I be bored when I'm not with him, low-key.
you're gonna be like, oh man, he was boring. But really, he could have been a great guy, but he just didn't create that atmosphere that was real, good for you. So at the end of the day, it's up to men to understand woman nature and then acquiesce their behaviors, and they'll get better results out here in the dating pool. But what were you saying?
Well, I definitely don't want a feminine man. Like, that is not attractive to me.
Okay, so one of the traits.
But I also,
okay, go ahead.
I also don't want a man that's trying to
control,
dominate, control, tell me what to do.
Dominate in what way?
Not.
Well, see, this is why I always say it's important to understand who you're getting in a relationship with on both sides, because you're not going to feel like I'm dominating you, trying to control you, if that is clearly understood at the beginning of the relationship. Point being, or example being, if we've had this conversation and you said, look, I'm somebody who can be submissive. I'm looking for a man who wants to lead but knows how to lead, who is sensitive to my needs but also understands that I will, be the two to his number one. If you getting in a relationship with somebody like that, then there is not going to be any butting of the heads. You ain't going to feel like I'm trying to dominate you, or you know what I'm saying, you ain't gonna feel like I'm trying to do too much. We've already had that understanding. It's when people get in a relationship with somebody like this, oh, you ain't gonna lead me. Like, baby girl, like, what you mean? I'm the man. I am gonna lead you. You're gonna be butting heads with somebody like this all day and night.
Listen to my opinion or my thoughts or consider what I have to say. I want somebody who's going to be a partner. And then, of course, there will be times where a man will lead in a certain area that maybe he's best at.
Yeah, but the word partner.
And then I will do the same. So if there's a decision to be made about something, let's assume that I'm married or in a relationship, we will make the decision together. I will listen to what he says. He's going to listen to what I say. And then someone
has to be the final decision maker. Is it going to be you or the man?
It just depends on whoever is better at that thing at that moment.
And generally speaking, in most situations, who do you think would be making the decision?
I know that you're going to say it's a man, but I disagree with that.
What do you think? You think that it'll be equal?
No, I think it depends on what the situation is.
Okay, gotcha. But this is what I'm saying. With your thinking, you actually disqualify yourself from meeting masculine men, because just you using words like partnership and things like that, what you speak you thought before you spoke it, right?
Right.
So what is a partnership? A partnership is different from a companionship. A partnership is different from a marriage. That's why you left your marriage, because you wanted a partnership. Because what you think.
And what I say, this is just a clip. Make sure to go check out the full-length podcast. Shout out No Fugazi. But I said she'd been married. She's clearly older, 40 plus, probably has some kids. She's been married, now clearly divorced, on a podcast over here defending feminism, talking about, oh, I ain't gonna let no man lead me. We gonna be equals. This gonna be by committee. It's gonna be a meeting of the minds. Like, come on, man. That ain't got you nowhere. Clearly.
And what you think, you are going to speak. And when you speak, you are going to act on those things too. Sometimes you don't even got to speak. You just got to think, and then you will act. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you acted, the fact that you think that a relationship is a partnership, is the fact that you left your husband.
That's not why I left my husband.
Of course, there's many other things.
That's not why. That's not even the main reason. But
and to be honest, that probably was her husband, the archetype that we just explained, the leading, domineering men. Just I'd probably say like alpha man, right? Somebody who just on they J, and you know they're leading a relationship. She left that man. You know she did. If she's over here talking about ain't no man gonna lead me, we gonna do this together, we're gonna be equal partners. Yeah.
Line.
But I meet masculine men all the time.
You scare them away or they stay?
They clearly left.
So
clearly left.
Yeah, they. Well, you know, or I'm saying no to the.
Do you ever give up vagina? And like you meet the masculine men, do you give up vagina? Like say you meet a man. I'm not saying in all situations. Let's say generally speaking, you meet a man to your liking. Things is going good. Yeah. Is it just dating, or is it like dating and sex as well?
No, it's usually not sex.
Okay, so it's just dating, and then you leave them. So have you ever?
No. So let me back up and say. So generally, what happens is you meet somebody and you're getting to know each other, and then at some point you realize it's not a match.
Got you. Now my question is for you.
And there's no sex.
Got you. So has it ever been a time when you met a masculine man? I'm saying a masculine man, and you met him, and it's talking stage, but y'all have sex, and then you leave him. Has that ever been a situation or no?
No.
Okay, so got it right there. So then you never even experienced the full, because really the relationship doesn't really start. And she's been married for a long time, but really the relationship doesn't start for a guy to put in a lot of effort, like to show you even more things, and a woman to show him more things until after sex. Hundreds of years ago, the world was different. People was getting married before sex, but we're not living in that age anymore. So what I'm saying is, yeah, well, maybe you stop talking to those masculine men. That's totally fine. He didn't get sex anyway. Okay, fine. But if you did was talking to a masculine man and you gave up sex, and then you ended up leaving that man, well, he just didn't want to put any more effort because he got what he came for.
But what's her ultimate goal? If she's saying she wants a masculine man, but she's probably literally repelling these men whenever they have a conversation, and she tells them, "Oh, well, yeah, I don't want to be led though. I want to do this as equals." Like, what's her end goal? Like, she might man. It's like Seth always said. Like, women say they don't want a bitch ass nigga, but they low key want a bitch ass nigga for real, because like she's saying something completely contradictory than what she wants. So she's getting on here and saying like, well, yeah, I do want an alpha man. I do want a man who's a leader. But when I meet that man that I want, that ideal man, I ain't gonna lie, we gonna have to come down and sit down, and I'm gonna tell him like we about to do this as equals.
Is it that, or I left because this wasn't working for me?
Well, think about it, right? It's like, okay, if a woman sleeps with a man, right? And generally speaking, when a woman dates, she dates for something. She's dating for a relationship, right? When a man is dating, on the front of his mind and the back of his mind, it's like for sex. So women date for usually commitment. For long term. They're looking like further into it. Like, I'm not just gonna be talking to this dude and just and gonna give up sex. Like, I want something more. I want to get to know him more, and if it's good, then maybe we could get to that. But for a man, it's like, well, yeah, I'm talking to this woman. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know how she is, but I'm looking I'm prioritizing sex is what I'm saying. Men prioritize sex. Women prioritize the camaraderie of a relationship. Let's say that companionship in a relationship. So if the man was actually getting sex from you and then you left him, well, that he could have done other things, or you could have done other things to keep that. It's pretty much just what I'm saying. Anytime a woman sleeps with a man and she doesn't get a long-term relationship, it's an L for her because she decreased her value. When a man sleeps with a woman and he doesn't, because men grant relationships, women don't grant relationships. Women grant sex. So if a man sleeps with a woman and she's like, oh yeah, I just want to stop having sex. I think let's call it quits. He still won because he got what he's naturally wanted. Right? But with a woman, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, if you were talking to a man and giving sex, but you left him, that's an L for you. You should have did everything you can to try to keep that. Because
man, that's a fire point to end it out on, because I say it all the time, man. I say it all the time. We've just been fooled by the illusion of choice, or that the grass is always greener. Like, if you got something good, especially if you're a woman, if you got something good, you got a man, he's ticking most, if not all, of your boxes, and for whatever petty reason you want to leave this man, and you think that you're gonna be able to go out and find another man who ticks most, if not all, your boxes, baby, the grass ain't always greener. I'm trying to tell you, the streets is cold. Go ahead and work that out with your man. He's a good man. Leaders, y'all women will know more than me about this, but a good man is literally not easy to come by. A leader is not easy to come by. A man who knows what he wants, a man who's driven, is not easy to come by. So you got a man who's doing all that. He's checking all those boxes. Like I said, like, get that man some leeway, get that man some leniency, work shit out with that man, because bro, these streets is cold. But I'm going to wrap it up off that point, man. Hopefully y'all like that video, pick something up. I'm going to be right back, man. We got Obama coming in on the DNC day 2. He's about to give a little speech, man. So I'm going to cover that live. Make sure to check that live out. But yeah, man, hope y'all enjoyed that, man. It's S.E.T Key Media, man. You had Key in here, yeah. Favorite big four-headed YouTuber, man. I'm going to sign out on this one. Peace.